Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them, and I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. We are continuing our run on all things X. X Factor number 36, the first chapter in Inferno. Um, well, technically the second, but each book is separate until they're not. So, um, we have already covered Uncanny X-Men 240. So now it's X Factor's turn. A great cover here. I love how the corner box is sort of broken here as Marvel Girl and Cyclops, Iceman, and Beast fight these demons here. Great cover by Simonson. And I'm going to say that before I say the next thing about Simonson is that these are his final issues. He leaves after Inferno to go do Fantastic Four, but they're a bit strange. I don't know. There's something about the art and his pencils. They just, I don't know, look a little strange. And I say this as Walter Simonson is one of my favorites. So, the story is called Transformations. Love this little Calvin and Hobbes kid here. And so the Beast and Iceman are trying to stop this thing from eating this kid, as you know, or are aware of. Inferno is the demons infected New York, and they have inhabited all these machines. We have our credits: Louise Simonson, writer; Simonson, penciler; Bob Wiacek is his inker; Bob Harris and Tom DeFalco continue the editorial. And so Trish Chilby here is narrating the story. And so everything is possessed. The Beast here, he's still wearing his uniform, but that won't last. At toward the end of Inferno, he'll be back to what we're used to seeing him here. So, all right. So they stop all these things. You see Iceman freezing this thing. Beast asks Trish if they didn't know they had sound her to Midtown, and she says they have them all over. Um, and so she says, "You handled that creature superbly. You saved the trial. These transmutations are so essentially." Um, oh, Beast. She called them Beast instead of Hank. So, of course, she's taken aback because remember, he was human and also not very smart, if you remember. I do have a playlist. Feel free to check that out. I have an X Factor playlist, an X Men playlist, a New Mutants playlist, a Wolverine playlist, a so in the X universe, I throw everything together. Excalibur is also there. It's also have an Excalibur playlist. I love me this era of all things X, so I cover it. And so he's upset that she seems so distanced. You can see that it's not just his physical appearance, it's also that he's so smart because he's back to normal. And Beast, of course, says it's getting hard to breathe around here. Um, and Iceman says he feels bad because he's mutated like this. Suddenly, there's a rumble, and the subway comes alive and swallows Trish and her cameraman. So, of course, here goes Iceman and Beast to go save her. Now we get this interlude here. And this is the part that I think it starts to look strange. I don't know whether Simonson is having a trouble drawing demons or doesn't, but things seem, I don't know, with his art. It just, I don't know, it just seems weird. So Naster, I don't know. I really don't know how to pronounce his name, so I apologize here. He says the transformation of Manhattan is near complete, and my long-range plan processed nicely. Soon my demons will return with the babies I require, including the special boy. the final piece that will drive his mother, the Goblin Queen, to madness, meaning Cyclops' son. Little Madeline, reveling in her dream awakened powers, thinks she uses me. She will learn. Now, a lot of this story, I have covered the 4-part Exterminators series that sort of ran throughout Inferno with the kids. And the only thing that I'm not currently covering is the current New Mutants era with Louise Simonson and oh my god, I forgot the penciler. But I've covered all the way to Fall of the Mutants. And I'll probably do a video to catch things up before I restart New Mutants when Rob Liefeld takes over. But so there's bits of the story that spread out through everywhere. Anyway, so he says she will learn, though she is more potent than I had anticipated. That is all to the good. With the power fueled by her pent-up rage and frustration, she will blow the lid off Manhattan. It will work as long as the father does not interfere, meaning Cyclops. Even now, he tracks the child through the powers of the mutant Jean Grey. That possibility I did not anticipate, but that should not remain a problem. By the time they arrive, I will have primed Manhattan to destroy them. And you can see here that New York City is starting to look probably like it does now. And Naster, Trish, I don't know. Again, sorry. Too bad for that for now, Jean Grey is such a small use to me. So like the other, and yet, in her light, far outshines the darkness. Now, at the end of X-Men 240, we got the revelation that Madeline Pryor, the future Goblin Queen, is actually a clone of Jean Grey created by Mr. Sinister. And so, he's, oh my god, what is his name? Nast, oh my god, Naster. Whatever. I will be able to subvert neither her nor Scott Summers, but that may not be true of them all. And so we end where we were a couple issues ago with the death of Candy Summers, and you can see that Angel, or former Angel, currently named Death, is holding her in his arms. So ends your life, my darling Candy, but they have paid. I've destroyed those who destroyed you. Despite their sworn protections, Demon and Naster, oh my god. Beware, Dark Angel, how my degenerate, how you denigrate my power. And so Angel says, who is this? And he says, I'm called, oh my god, I even looking at it, screw it. It was I who promised Cameron Hodge that in facing you he would not die. And Angel says, you gave him the courage to defy me, to slaughter this woman whose only offense was to love me. This is what I mean about the art. It just looks weird. But you failed. I have killed him. And Naster says, have ya? He said you swore that his organization would prosper, says Angel, yet I have wrecked it. Destroyed by those malevolent wings, says the demon. Dark Angel, you have one soul, but your wings have another. And Angel says, maybe, but both are bent on your destruction. You, the ally who gave him the audacity for such evil. He uses his angels and throws his daggers. And so Naster says, evil speaks to evil in its own language. It rends, it tears, it slashes, and destroys. Oh yes, those wings would kill me if they could, and you would let them, but as you see, and this demon says, hey, the demons are ready to enter Manhattan. You interrupt me, you Crotus at your peril, but you bring excellent news. It is a pleasure watching a man struggle to reconcile dual natures, knowing that in the end, the lower one will always triumph. And so he leaves, and Angel says, "You disengage your spell too late, Naster. I know where to find you. I have friends in Manhattan and responsibilities. Before I allow you to harm any more of those I love, I will unleash my evil upon you and see you utterly destroyed." Angel was so cool during this, but I still prefer the wings. And so here comes Marvel Girl and Cyclops heading back to New York here. And she's having her telepathies coming back. And she's imagining the demons getting at them. And so Cyclops is trying to help her, saying that, it's not real. But she pushes him away here and says, I can. Sorry, Cyclops says, pull yourself together or you'll be of no use to him, meaning the baby. Or to you, she says. This is your fault. You're doing. You married that woman. Why did you have to marry her? The baby, Christopher, he's yours and hers. Sweet, helpless little baby. Perfect, crying, scared. Have to save him. What's he doing inside my head? Again, her telepathy's coming back. We go here and we see this demon subway, and Iceman and Beast come in, and they recognize them, and he's like, "Hey, we're here signing autographs." So, all right, we're gonna keep on moving here, and still with the whole, what's going on, and it's Maddie and all this kind of stuff. We've seen a lot of it. So here comes the jet, and here comes this airplane. But this airplane again, Inferno. This airplane is alive, and what happened to all the people inside? So they're heading toward the Empire State Building, and it looks very demonic, I would say. So, all right. And so we're going to rescue the people from inside that subway. And Iceman's using his ice powers to freeze the tracks and get it off the rails here. And so it is on this bridge, and so everyone now is upset. And of course, Trish is like, "Shut up and let them save your ungrateful lives. It'll serve you right if he let the train have you." Of course, Beast is like surprised. And so he gets everybody out, and they lets her out, but she doesn't take his hand. It says, it's not the fur. I can get used to the fur. It's a chatter. It's like everything's a massive joke. And he see how scared I am, how scared we all are. And she, of course, thinks it's his thing here. And so the subway thing is still alive here. And Iceman is unleashing his powers and creates a slide here, having people slide down. And here we go. Still fighting the subway creature. Beast still has his super strength here. And she's like, "Oh my god, this is bending. He's strong but not invulnerable. He'll try to wrestle that thing single-handedly. He'll be crushed." So she's going to go to try and help him. And so Beast is like, "What are you doing?" Cutting to the head of the line for the pearly gates. "Go on, get down. This thing is dangerous." And so he calls out for Iceman, and she grabs this thing and sends it to him. And he uses it. Oh no, that's the electricity here. Sorry. And so Beast gets out of the way, takes her with him. The electric thing hits it and destroys it. And so as they're flying, this star forms, and it says here, current issues of New Mutants and Exterminators have further details. I have done Exterminators. I have not been covering New Mutants, so you'll have to forgive me for that. And so they're hit by this lightning, and the airplane is going down. The two of them are going to jump off. She uses her telekinesis to help everybody while the airplane goes down. And you can see this helicopter is going through. And then all these demons are coming through that gate. Beast and Trish land. They see this thing opening up. And he's going to go check on Trish, and she gives him a kiss and says, "You're not the Hank I knew, but you're a guy I'd like to know a whole lot better," and he's surprised. So again, all these things are fighting them, and the city's gone crazy. And now we've got finally a reunion of the four. Angel will be coming, though. And so they're all happy, they're all reunited, and here come all these demons. And of course, it is time to fight. Beautiful panel here. And finally, Angel has arrived, and everyone is back together again after disposing all the enemies. And so look at this. Marvel Girl gives him a hug. Everything is forgiven. And they look. She says, Marvel Girl says, "The static's gone. I found little Christopher. Scott, demons have landed. They're scanning the city. Can't find what, no who they're looking for. They say if they can't sacrifice him, they will eat him now." And so you see everybody running too, and he says, "Come on." And Jean Grey says, "He's scared, Scott." And Scott Summers says, "So talk to him, Jean. You have to, all of us, to support you now. Let him know we'll support him. Tell him his daddy knows where he is now, that he loves him, and that he's coming to save him. And I'll say we'll all save him, all of us together." And so next issue, Nastor, the Goblin Queen, Mr. Sinister, X Factor. Who will get the baby? Find out in a matter of opinion. So, well, there we go. X Factor number 36 by Louise Simonson and Walter Simonson with Bob Wiacek. Like and subscribe. And I do thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.